What's going on? It's Jack Mack here with Unnecessary Roughness to recap the reemergence of the beef between Oklahoma and Nebraska. You may have seen this the morning of Friday, March 12th, 2021, that Nebraska is reportedly trying to get out of their game with Oklahoma in the upcoming football season. I believe the game's on September 18th, 2021. This was reported on the morning of Friday, March 12th. Now, why is this such a big deal? Why has this caused such a stir on the college football interwebs, college football Twitter, Reddit, just news in general? Why is this such a big deal? We just came off a season with so many cancellations. Well, you have to look at the history, right? So, Nebraska and Oklahoma have hated each other for a very long time. That's because they played together in the Big 8 and the Big 12. They were the two dogs of that conference, the Big 8 and the Big 12. Now, the Big 12 is still around. Nebraska left it, which is part of the beef because Nebraska left and thought they were, it kind of looked as if Nebraska thought they were better than the Big 12. They wanted to go to the Big 10 and do bigger and better things, and they've failed since. In 1971, they had the quote-unquote game of the century. This year is the 50th anniversary. That's why these two schools came together and said, hey, let's play a game in 2021 and 2022. It's the anniversary, our 50th year anniversary of the game of the century. Since, as I said, they went to the Big Ten, Nebraska has fallen apart. Oklahoma has only gotten better. They've won the Big 12 for God knows how many more years. They've had Heisman winners. They've made it to the college football playoff a bunch of times. Nebraska, I think their best accomplishment is getting to the Big Ten title game one year. That's it. Now, there's another layer to this that Nebraska was the face of we want to play. When the Big Ten canceled their season, Nebraska said, we'll play any team anywhere. We just want to play football, which now, looking back on, is a bit ironic considering they're trying to cancel a game. You don't want to, I get if it was 10 years down the line and someone's bringing it up, you'd be like, that's old shit. But we're not that far removed from a situation where Scott Frost was saying that we'll outplay any team, even if it's in Uzbekistan. I was just talking about the geography of Oklahoma and Nebraska. Nebraska's above Oklahoma. I think that's true. I don't know where Uzbekistan is, but I think it's near Serbia. But he said, we'll play then. But then you won't play the game you agreed upon 10 years ago to play? Kind of weird. Now, Oklahoma releases a statement. It's up right here. They say, we plan on having this game no matter what goes on. We want to play Nebraska at home on September 18th, 2021. So why does Nebraska not want to play Oklahoma? Well, the main reason is they're scared. Let's just state the obvious. They're scared to play Oklahoma. They know if they go into Norman and get blown out by their ex-rivals in their ex-conference, it's not going to look good to the fans or donors. And that's what Oklahoma's going to do to them this year. Nebraska knows they're not going to go into Norman, Oklahoma and beat Oklahoma. Far greater chance that Oklahoma whoops their ass, and then their fans who are already fed up with how the transition from the Big 12 to the Big 10 has gone, they're going to be much more mad. Two, they're not creating any revenue from this game. Now, Nebraska's coming off a season where they had no fans in attendance. They would rather play a team that's like a Sun Belt team or a MAC team at home to try to bring in some more revenue, which they failed to get last year. That isn't particularly their fault. There was a tough year with the pandemic, and the Big Ten didn't allow fans in. That isn't the case for the Big 12. Three, it goes back to number one a little bit. They know they'll probably lose, and they're going into year 4 of the Scott Frost savior plan. Scott Frost, the ex-quarterback for Nebraska, who was supposed to come home and save their program, it hasn't really worked out. He came from UCF with all the hype. He was one of the most hyped up coaching hires in a long time. He was coming home. He played football for Nebraska. He was coming home, and it hasn't worked. And they know if they lose an out-of-conference game, the chances that they get into a bowl game are much slimmer. And guess what? Scott Frost has not gotten Nebraska to a bowl game in his first 3 seasons. What are they supposed to do if that's season 4? Fire him? Probably, but they don't want to do that. That's admitting defeat to the savior plan. He was supposed to save Nebraska football, and he hasn't. And their way of trying to save face and giving Scott Frost a little bit more time is by at least getting to a bowl game this year. And playing Oklahoma on the road isn't going to help. All in all, the internet bullied Nebraska. I mean, I'm showing you some Reddit posts right now. Everybody was on Oklahoma's side. I mean, why wouldn't they? Oklahoma just wants to play the game. Nebraska's running away scared. They just want to play like Akron or somebody like that. They got bullied into not doing this anymore. Bill Moose released a statement in which he said that the University of Nebraska is looking forward to playing Oklahoma in Norman on September 18th. So we essentially bullied, partly us, at Unnecessary Roughness. We did an entire thread on it. There was Reddit threads. Not everyone was talking about it, but the college football world was talking about it. And they got bullied within a short period of time to not potentially pussy out of this game. So, Nebraska, this was pathetic. Pathetic. That's the number one thing. This was straight up pathetic. And I want you guys to return to glory. But when you're doing stuff like this, I have no better option than to just point at you and say pathetic. So, yeah, Nebraska, shame on you. I'm glad we bullied you into still playing this game. I hope Oklahoma beats you by 50 points. Now that I'm thinking about it, I will 100% be betting on Oklahoma on September 18th because I know their school, their coaches, the boosters, they're going to want to stick it to these guys after this. Stick it to them. So if it's Oklahoma minus 24, I'm on it. Spencer Rattler's going to put up 800 points. If you like this video, please subscribe, like it, share with your friends, and turn on the notifications bell. But thanks for watching.